For years, I have relied on synthetic fertilizers, and I really thought that was the only way to get results. But I realized I was only treating the symptoms, not fixing the soil. Welcome back to Ray Ray's Garden, y'all. This is my journey and how I got off of synthetic fertilizers. I started small. A batch of Comfrey Tea, I whipped up a bucket of JMS and really started to focus on soil health, but not overnight. In fact, it added up over the years. Let's go take a walk in the park, y'all. I grew up in the country, and where I'm from, everybody had a little homestead. We butchered animals, raised food, and really did things like the old days. My mom was really big into permaculture. She was always trying to compost everything, and it seemed like she was always trying to mimic Mother Nature. That's really where my gardening journey begins, is with my mom. She's the one that got me excited about growing plants. We landscaped our property, made little bonsai trees together, and grew our own food. It was so much fun. As an adult and a homeowner now, I've been on my own gardening journey. In fact, for like the last 25 years or so, I've really been on a journey trying to learn how to garden. Anybody can throw a plant in the ground, but that's really not what it was about for me. I really wanted to learn how to grow naturally and be more like my mom. So again, I'm sure I will continue to learn more in the future, but at this point, right now in 2025, there's 3 things that I have done that have gotten me off of the synthetic fertilizers. The first one is Comfrey Tea. That's pretty much my go-to fertilizer now when I want to apply something. There's a lot going on here. So if you look at a bag of fertilizer, there's the 3 numbers there, N, P, and K, which is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And those numbers tell you how much of that stuff is in there, and it kind of lets you know what the balance of it is. Although there is definitely nitrogen in Comfrey Tea, it's really the second 2 numbers where Comfrey Tea shines. Nitrogen is all about leafy growth and growing the plant tall. That's really good and all, but it doesn't quite help that much when it comes to root development and budding and fruiting. That's where the second 2 numbers come in. Phosphorus and potassium, or potash, really help with root, flowering, fruiting, and just overall plant health. If our plants are given the right nutrients and are able to uptake things in a balanced way, they can very much fight off disease and get rid of a lot of the pests on their own naturally. This is sort of the breakdown of a generic Comfrey Tea. Obviously, I would need to send mine to a laboratory to find out exactly what it is, but this is probably pretty close. Nitrogen is definitely important for plants. It's how we get that leafy green growth and how that thing really takes off. But my plants can get most of the nitrogen they need from the soil. And that's why this Comfrey Tea works out great, because it does have a touch of that N, but it's the P and the K that it's really focusing on. That brings us to the second thing I use, and that is JMS. This is not a fertilizer at all. In fact, this is really just biology. If you were to build your soil properly, most of the stuff a plant needs is already in there. Mother Nature doesn't add synthetic fertilizers. Somehow it finds a way. The key is, can your plants uptake what's in there? In order for your plants to actually get that stuff out of the soil, it's got to be broken down in such a way that the plant can uptake it. And that's where JMS comes in. All those microbes are like little decomposers, and they break down minerals, they break down all these macro and micronutrients, and what's left is something that our plants can absolutely take up. When you add Comfrey Tea and JMS together, you've got a powerful combination, guys. But let's take this a step further and let's build our soil. Growing soil sounds kind of funny to say, but maybe building soil is a better way to put it. By building our soil properly, we're putting in all the things necessary, and then the biology takes over. In our video number 2 of this series, which was all about soil, we learned that soil is made up of sand, silt, clay, and organic matter. Organic matter is actually probably the least of those things in normal soil, but it's something I focus on the most. Every year, both in spring and fall, I like to put fresh organic material in there. Anything that's not composted that well, I'll generally put in fall. That way it has the winter to break down. I'm in a cold area here. We get a harsh winter, and that actually speeds up decomposition, believe it or not. In the spring, I mulch everything, and that also helps build the soil. As that organic mulch breaks down, it's just adding more and more black gold into that soil and more bacteria, and it attracts worms. They love wood chips and anything organic like that. Once you add these three things together, you have a proper foundation of soil. I've inoculated the heck out of that thing with JMS, and then I'm using organic fertilizers that I've made on my property. It's a triple threat, guys, that absolutely has changed the game for me. These days, at least out here in the main garden beds, I use zero synthetics. My garden's more alive than ever. I see more worms, better water retention, and plants that actually thrive without having to hit them with weekly boosts. You don't have to do this all overnight, but you can start today. Start amending your beds with compost, or grow some comfrey so you can make some tea, or even just a mindset shift. It's a way better way to grow. If you missed any part of this series, the playlist is linked below. I'd start with part 1. It's the easiest win. Free fertilizer from a plant you can pretty much grow anywhere. Give this video a like, subscribe, and join this community. Where there's a will, there's a Ray. Start small, y'all, grow deep, and compost everything else. Ray out.